friends are since.
One of the great paradoxes of YouTube is that you get people who create YouTube channels to share things they're really interested in and passionate about, but then as they begin to get more subscribers and kind of fall deeper into the world of YouTube, they begin to become more focused on making videos as opposed to the actual thing they were interested in sharing in the first place. And this is particularly the case, I think, when it comes to the world of music, not least because people get really interested in and kind of laser focused on gear or making videos about gear rather than actually making music with the gear, and it can become this kind of self-perpetuating thing where that's all you ever see or hear about. And this is something that I'm hyper aware of. When I first started the channel years and years ago, that was something that I found that I didn't really like about YouTube, because I felt like all I was doing was making videos about gear and not making music anymore. Anyway, recently I have felt like I've kind of been neglecting my songwriting, even though I've been making a whole load of music as well as doing the videos. And I say this because songwriting in particular, I think, is something that you kind of have to exercise like a muscle, because if you want to be writing songs, especially kind of lyrics with a narrative quality, then you really need to do that fairly regularly in order to be good at it. You can't really pick it up and put it down and pick it up and put it down. And when it comes to the bands in particular, I've found that it's been quite hard to get back into writing new material because I haven't been doing that as much. So the other week I was thinking about different ways I could maybe stimulate my lyrical muscles, and I thought that rather than trying to write a whole bunch of songs that I would, spend a lot of time on and get perfect, I would see what kind of tracks I could come up with in a much shorter, much more kind of compressed time frame. I had a couple of hours a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday, and I thought, why don't I write a song now and just see how far I can get? And so that's what I did. And I've written a song called Bodies Are Disgusting, which is basically just about the kind of humiliating, less than pleasant side of being alive as a human being. All the kind of things that you might think or feel or do or say in private, in your own mind, or, with your own selves that you wouldn't necessarily want to share with anybody. So that's the kind of story or lyrical basis of the track. But the idea now is that I'll probably turn this into a series where I'm going to do a variety of songs within a 2-hour time window or thereabouts. In reality, it'll probably be about 3 hours with mixing and mastering, but the idea will be that every track will at least be written and recorded within 2 hours, and then we'll see at the end of this if any of it is any good. And I think this might be a good exercise, not just for me to get better at songwriting and do it more regularly, but also to kind of give people maybe, some inspiration about what you can, or probably more accurately to say, cannot do within 2 hours. Anyway, this is the first track I've written. I didn't record or, document the process of writing this song in any way. I might do that in future. But for those of you who are interested in the kind of technical side or, the equipment and all that kind of thing, I simply wrote the drums using the XO application, which I think is Mac-based. You might be able to get it on PC, can't remember. I'm using it on a Mac. But essentially this gives you a quick and easy way to sequence interesting drum patterns out of samples. So I created some patterns with that. I then recorded some guitar. Can't remember what guitar I used. I think it was my Japanese Fender Telecaster that I've got sitting over there. I ran that into an HX Stomp, which is just a kind of audio interface / guitar preset, VST box thing. It sounds better than the kind of plug-in VSTs, at least I think so, or it's easier for me to get it to sound better. And then I used some plugins like the Mishby, I think, MSHBY from Freak Show Industries, which kind of messed things up, and I just recorded a bunch of vocals. So, hopefully, you might like this. I don't know if I do, but I think it was a good way to kick things off, and I'm kind of fairly surprised and pleased at how it sounds for having been written and recorded in 2 hours. In the future, I'm going to do some other variations on this where I'll document the process and show you my head kind of exploding as, I fail to do anything useful within the 2 hour window. But for now, have a listen, see what you think. If you've embarked upon a similar process of creation by limitation, do let me know. I'm interested in this kind of thing. And if you don't want to subscribe anymore, that's also perfectly valid. But I will find out where you live.
Bodies. Bodies are disgusting.